Alright, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Milena, aka Fun Size, and I'm back with a new video. Sorry, I'm so out of breath. Once again, if you do hear some noise, there is a cat in the room, and I do have the AC on because it's really freaking hot, so I am sweaty right now, you can kind of tell. But before we start, I just want to give a huge shout out to my nail tech. She actually did my nails today. I'm gonna be tagging her down below and on the screen, so you should go ahead and check her out. And yeah, so for those who subscribe and are new to my channel, my name is Milena, and thank you guys for subscribing. And for those who are just watching me, if you could go ahead and please subscribe and like my video and share and comment if possible. Thank you. So to get into the video, I'm actually going to be talking about how I found out I was pregnant and my reaction, as well as my boyfriend's reaction and my family's reaction. I don't know if I still have the videos of my family. I'm gonna double check, but if I do, I'll go ahead and insert those videos as well. But I'm just gonna talk about how I found out, what I felt or what I was thinking, as well as, well, I can't really speak for my boyfriend, but from what he told me, from his perspective, I'll go ahead and explain to you guys that as well, and then my family and so on forth. So let's see. So the way I found out I was pregnant, first of all, let me clear the air. And once again, it wasn't something I was planning or expecting, and it wasn't something that I personally wanted to happen. Like I said, I was living my best life, I guess you could say, and I still am going to school, so it wasn't something that I necessarily wanted like right now, but it just so happened, and this is how it happened. So I found out I was pregnant sometime in April, towards the end in April. I actually had a dream about one of my relatives, which would be my grandma. I had a dream that, so let me backtrack. So my grandma passed away in 2020, I believe. 2021. Yes, 2021, I believe. One of those years. Sorry, I'm like out of it right now. But she passed away not so long ago. The last time I dreamed about her was after she passed away, and she was basically just telling me like her goodbyes and stuff and whatsoever. So it's been a minute since I last dreamt about her. So this time around, I believe it was a Sunday, because I know I didn't go to work the next day. But before that, I was sleeping a lot, which actually didn't catch my attention, because for those who do know me, I like to sleep a lot. Like, I tend to just, like, my naps are like 3 hours long, so it didn't really catch my attention. But so on forward, I did have a dream that she came to me and we were on the beach, and my grandma like loved the ocean. She was just one of those people who would just go to the beach barefoot and just stand in the water all day if she could. So we were standing in the water, and I was with her and my grandpa. And mind you, I've never met my grandpa, but my grandpa was in the back. And she was just talking to me, and she was just telling me, so this grandma I'm much closer to than my mom's side of the family. So I had more of a connection with her. So her death actually took a serious and depressing toll in my life. Like, it was just something that I didn't know how to cope with. So I was very sad. I would cry a lot, grieving stuff. So in my dream, she actually hugged me, and she told me that sorry, I don't want to cry. She told me that she was sending me someone, which I didn't think, like, in my head I wasn't processing, but she just told me she was sending someone to be with me so I wouldn't feel alone. And I needed, like, how do I say it? Like, I needed a push in my life, because I was just stuck for a moment. Like, I didn't know what I wanted to do in my life. Like, I was just giving up on everything. So she had told me, she's like, I know you've been crying a lot, like I know you've been going through a hard time. So I'm gonna send you half of me to you so you don't feel alone. And mind you, I woke up at 3 in the morning scared because I was like, what the hell is happening? And I didn't think nothing of it. And then I went back to sleep, right? And the next morning, I just wanted to throw up. Like, it was like a nasty feeling. So I was connecting all the dots. The day before, my boyfriend's family had brought Chick-fil-A, and I love Chick-fil-A. I just couldn't eat it. Like, it was just something that I wanted to throw up, but I had to force myself to eat it because I didn't want them to think like, oh, what's wrong with her? Like, she's sick. I didn't even know what was wrong with me. Like I said, I wasn't connecting dots, so I wasn't like, oh my god, like I'm pregnant, you know? So whatever, worse. So moving on. The next day, I woke up and I just woke up wanting to throw up. So I had called out of work. I told them what was happening, and I had thought it was COVID. I had thought I had COVID because I basically had all the symptoms. And for whatever reason, I thought of the dream, and I was like, I told my boyfriend, I was like, okay, let me just take a pregnancy test. I highly doubt it because, like I said, I was on birth control. So I mean, everything was fine. Like, my period was coming on time, like, etc., etc. I was taking my pills on time, and so on. So I took the pregnancy test, and mind you, I'm just looking at it, and I've taken some before, and that second line never comes up for me, like, ever. So I'm like, oh, okay, like, you know, it's probably nothing. So I was just brushing my teeth or whatever, and I look at the test, and I'm like freaking out because as soon as it loaded, the second line went faint, and I was like, no way. Like, I just froze, and in my head I was like, no, this has to be wrong. Like, there is no way. And you know, my boyfriend was doing his own business too, and he's like, let me see. So I just ran out of the restroom, and I went into the room, and I just sat down, and I was like, what the hell? And I messaged my friend, and I sent her the video, like, of the test, and I was like, please tell me, like, there isn't a line there, or there is a line and I'm not tripping. And she told me, she's like, no, there is a line, like, you're not tripping, like, there is a second line. So I was still in denial, and I was like, what the hell? So I went back into the restroom, took another test, because I had two, and the second line came up quicker than anything, and I was like, oh my god. And I just started freaking out. Like, it wasn't those moments where people are so excited to have another, like, or have a kid. I was just freaking out because the first thing that came to my head was my parents. Like, what am I gonna tell them? You know, my parents are very, not strict parents, but I feel like I owe a lot to them. So me being pregnant's like lowering my standards, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's what I thought about my parents, and I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna say? So like I said, I was still in denial. So I ended up going to the doctors, and they actually confirmed that I was pregnant. And to come as a surprise, the due date was on my dad's birthday, which was December 12th. And it was just a coincidence because, like, how. So I didn't really think much of it. I was just really in shock. Anyway, sorry, I got interrupted. So I forgot where I left off. Oh yeah, so I was in my head, I was just thinking, like, oh my god, how am I gonna tell my parents, because if anyone knows my parents, it wasn't so much my mom, it was so much my dad. Like, I didn't want to disappoint. So it was just a lot of emotions going through my head and going through my boyfriend's head. Like, my part in my end, and I won't sugarcoat it, I did not want to keep the fetus at the time, because I was just more so, I'm not done with school, like, I'm not ready, which is, you know, not everyone is ready to have a kid. Like, I had my sister had her niece, and she was like birth control to me because she's a handful, you know. So we discussed a lot about it, and he did make a good point, because he was just like, oh, you know, we're never ready for a kid. Like, no one ever is ready for a kid. And I just thought about it, and I was just more so like, okay, like, what are the odds that I am pregnant and while protecting myself? And, you know, like, if this is really my grandma, like, okay, this is meant to be. So I decided to keep it. So at that point I was already texting like all my friends, because like I said, I was freaking out. So I called my best friend and his girlfriend, and then, you know, I did, like I said, I didn't record much because it wasn't something I was, like I said, I was more so shocked and more so scared to tell my parents. So it wasn't something I was able to enjoy, which in my end I messed up, you know, like I should have enjoyed it, but you know, things happen. And sorry, it's the cat. And but yeah, so we went home, and like we went to go buy some stuff to surprise Aaron's mom. So Aaron is my boyfriend, his name is Aaron. So we had gone to like Target to get like a little box to surprise his mom. At this point, like his sister knew. I had actually told, she was one of the first persons that I told in the morning, and I showed her. And I quickly texted my sister, and I was like, hey, like this and this is happening, like I don't know, like I think like I look so much to my older sister, like she's like a best friend to me, so I just felt like she needed to know as well. So we spoke about it, you know, she wasn't being mean about it, like it was a moment of anxiousness and like figuring out what I'm gonna do, basically adulting, if you want to call that. So like I said, we went to Target, we started buying stuff, and it was his mom's birthday that day, so it wasn't something like, oh, here's a gift randomly. So we had told her we had a gift for her, and I will insert the video if I do have the video. Like I said, I wasn't the one who recorded it, it was Aaron's sister, so if she does have the video, I'll go ahead and insert it here.
¿Qué dice?
No manches.
¿Ya?
Oh my god. But we showed her the box, and she opened it, and she was like confused, because she's like, what the hell, like why is her baby clothes in there and stuff. And at some point she started crying out of like happiness and stuff like that, because you know, a kid is never a mistake, it's more so a blessing. Like there's so many people who try to have kids and can't. So she was just happy for us. And later on that day, we had all gone to dinner for her birthday with the whole family, and the only ones who knew at that point were just his mom and his sister. So we took the same box, and we gave her the box again, acting like it was the first time. And the whole family finally like I said, they were confused, because it's like baby clothes. Why are you giving the mom baby clothes?
Congratulations! No way! Wow! You did the grandkids!
¿Cómo vas a ser un grandpa?
And yeah, they were happy. They were just, you know, like, okay, like what's the next step, like so on and so forth. And we just discussed about it. And yeah, so that's how they found out. As far as my parents, it was Abby's birthday party. Abby is my niece. It was her birthday party, and I was really scared to tell my dad. It's again, it was more so my dad, and I was like literally shitting it to tell my dad. So we did the same thing. I put things in a box. So I ended up telling my mom first. Like I put her aside, and I was like, I need to show you something. Like I have something for you. It was a late birthday gift, because her birthday was like the week before. So she opened it, and she didn't say anything. She just like, call your dad. Like, we're gonna open this with your dad. And she closed it back up. And she was shaking. Like, I don't know if it was out of happiness or like freaking out, which I'm pretty sure was freaking out. So I will insert that video if I do have it here as well.
Vos.
¿Estás preñada? Bueno,
No, but like, guess cuándo, para cuándo?
no sé.
Diciembre 12.
Va a ser varón.
I don't know.
Sí, pero ya le quito los terrenos a la...
Me dejaron para diciembre 12.
Se va a tener que pelear por la tortuga.
Que se va a llamar uno Álvaro.
Tener. Bueno, yo congratulations porque me dio.
Felicidades, pero ya se cagaron.
Está abrazando con
No. We were all in a circle with all my siblings, and sorry, I'm out of breath. And we ended up like, she opened the box again, and my dad was like, "Oh, like you're pregnant, and I was like, "Yeah," and like I was on the verge of crying, which I'm in my car right now, but I was on the verge of crying because I didn't like the way I had planned out the whole, like, him reacting was how he actually reacted. But in the beginning he was just like, oh well, you know, like, you're pregnant, like, what can we do now, you know? I am of age already, I'm 22, so it's like he can't really stop me from living life, I guess, if you wanted to say it that way. So yeah, my mom was just like on my butt, like, are you taking your prenatals? Like she literally jumped into mom mode and was like, oh my god, like, how long are you? Do you know what you're having? Like, so on and so forth. And it was, my mom was the one mostly reacting, and my dad was just like, you know, oh well, like, it's a new baby, like, it's a blessing, so on and so forth. And later on that day, like, he ended up reacting how I expected him to react, which was, okay, well, you're not done with school, like, what about school? Like, that was his main priority, which obviously is my main priority too. So that was like his, like, big dollar question. And like I said, me and my boyfriend sat down with my parents and my siblings, we talked about it, and so on and so forth, and they just accepted it. And to throw this in there, like, I know there's certain people watching me that know who my dad is, and I just wanted to say, like, and I told my parents straight up, like, my parents told me, people are always gonna talk about you, people are always gonna say things they shouldn't have an opinion on, but they're always gonna have an opinion on. And it's like, I told my parents sitting down, and I told them, like, you know, me having a kid doesn't mean you messed up on raising me or you failed me as a kid, you know, like, things happen. Like, obviously I'm not stupid, like, I know how a baby is created. And like, I told them straight up, like, I hope people don't tell you, like, oh well, now your daughter's not going to be anything in life, because it's crazy to think people actually think like that, which is actually going to be another video. But I just wanted to throw that in there because, like I said, my parents did not fail me. I got pregnant because, I don't know, maybe it was something that was supposed to happen. I don't know. Like I said, like, the odds were just literally 1%, and it did happen. So anyways, back onto the story. I don't have my siblings' reactions. So I actually texted all of them. And yeah, we were on FaceTime, but I didn't want to record that because it was more of a, like, intimate thing. So I don't have a video for them, but as of now, like, everyone's just excited to meet baby girl and you know, start a new journey with me. But that's basically how I found out I was pregnant, and it's just crazy to me because now I'm like 5 months pregnant and I only have 4 months left, so I don't know, it's kind of scary. But I am gonna be posting videos about, like, my doctor's appointments, like, what I do in my day as a pregnant girl or stuff like that, like, you know. And then I will have another video with just me and my boyfriend talking about the whole situation, what we think of it, because, like I said, I can only say so much for him because he's not in this video. So it's just something that, like, you know, maybe I should have him just say his part. So yeah, but I don't know, guys, I just feel like some things are just meant to be and some things just aren't, and I'm happy with my decision. Don't get me wrong, like, I do get nervous here and there, but it's like, it's not something I can't accomplish, and I do know I have other stuff to worry about too. But like I said, like, I'm really good with time and stuff, so you know, it's my life and my decision, and I just feel like people's opinions, or anyone, like if anyone in anyone's life, like if people's opinions shouldn't matter, whether it's like pregnancy or who you're dating and stuff like that. Like if that makes you happy, then go ahead. At the end of the day, people, like my parents said, people are always gonna talk. So yeah, so that's the end of this video. It was something kind of longish, but not really. But like I said, I will try to insert videos if I do have them, and if I don't, well, you guys kind of got the breakdown of how they found out. But yeah, like I said, everyone's excited to meet baby girl, and yeah, so this is the end of this video. I hope you liked my little rant. Like I said, there will be another video coming as to what, I don't know how to explain the video because I don't want to give too much information of it, but it's gonna be a really good video, and it does involve like a lot of opinions and Hispanics and so on and so forth. But like I said, that is the end of this video, and I hope you liked my video. If you could please subscribe and like this video and comment and share, that would be awesome. Thank you.